Hello, everybody. My name is Jamie Keith, and I'm going to be sharing my story with you and some tips and tricks on how to succeed with your health, and just a lot about why gut health matters. So I am a stay-at-home mom. I have been a homemaker since before I had kids. So I have 5 children. My oldest is 26, my youngest is 10. So I have 5 children and 2 grandkids and a wonderful son-in-law. And I have been homeschooling for more than 20 years. I just wanted to share a little bit about myself. And I have had health problems my whole entire life. When I was a young mom, I was put on high doses of prednisone with one of my pregnancies as a study. I wasn't sick or anything. It was a normal pregnancy. The only problem was that I had antibodies that destroyed my baby's platelets. And all of my baby's platelet count was severely low early on in the pregnancy. And so with my first kid, he got IVIG treatments when he was 3 weeks old. And then when I was pregnant with my second, they strong-armed me and manipulated me. It's a terrible story, and I won't get into it, but they had me take high doses of prednisone, high doses of steroids, like between 65 and 100 milligrams, and I was small, and I was pregnant, and it just destroyed my immune system right away. Like pretty quickly, within the first week, my life was ruined forever. And I continued with the study. I ended up being on prednisone for 5 months. That whole part of it is a long story. I'm not going to get into it. But we tried to not do the study, and we tried to get off the study once I realized it was affecting my health, and I couldn't. So that's a whole nother story. There's a lot of illegal and immoral stuff going on with that. So I feel like I have to share that part because people are like, well, why'd you do that? Well, there is a story on why. But it completely destroyed my health. It destroyed my thyroid, my liver, my stomach, my brain, my kidney, my bladder, and caused very, very severe candida. So severe that even naturopathic doctors had trouble helping me overcome the severe candida. I had hunger and cravings that were so out of control. My thyroid, I wasn't not responding to thyroid medicine. It took them 1.5 years to even realize that I had a thyroid disease because my labs looked fine for 1.5 years. But immediately with the prednisone, I was so tired I couldn't function. I couldn't sleep, even though I was tired all the time. My thyroid would swell, and it was difficult to swallow. I had all the thyroid symptoms so severe that I could barely function, and for 1.5 years, it didn't even show up. Then when I started taking thyroid medicine, my body wouldn't respond. I was allergic to levothyroid and synthroid, and my body didn't respond to the Armour thyroid that I am now taking. So after several years, it affected my kidney. My kidney has been hurting since I started prednisone, and for 20 years I just put up with it because they couldn't find anything wrong with my kidney. All of a sudden, I started having reoccurring bladder infection after bladder infection after bladder infection. I tried everything natural. I tried everything acupuncture and all the tinctures and all the supplements that you take for them. And even antibiotics. I had IV antibiotics, double doses of antibiotics. It wasn't working. My body became resistant to the antibiotics and to even the natural things that I was taking for it. And my body was reacting like it was making my candida worse. All the symptoms that I had from the prednisone, all the antibiotics, 6 years worth of antibiotics was making me worse. My bladder was constantly infected. I had 2 surgeries on my kidney. My surgeon was also trying to take care of my bladder. I was on anti-bladder spasm medication and antibiotics. Nothing was working for me, not to mention that I'm allergic to everything, so it's really hard to find something that I'm not allergic to. And then when I'm not allergic to it, the side effects are horrific and it doesn't work. It's resistant. Even if it worked once, it won't work again. 6 years of this, and I was miserable. My health was deteriorating. My memory problem was so severe. My stomach wasn't absorbing nutrients. I had a very severe vitamin deficiency. And even though I was taking prescription vitamin D and mass amounts of extra calcium, zinc, magnesium, regular vitamins, I was taking a mass amount of yeast killers and probiotics. I was taken by the handfuls. I was seeing specialists. My primary care doctor was trying to help me. I was seeing nutritionists, homeopathics, chiropractors, naturopaths, and they were all doing amazing to help me, but it just wasn't enough. The quality of my life was terrible, and it was getting worse, and I was doing all the right things. I was doing exactly what my doctors were asking me to do. I was taking all the vitamins and supplements that they were asking me to do. I was doing everything perfectly with my health. I was eating extremely healthy. I was exercising. I was drinking plenty of water. I was doing everything perfectly and everything right. I was even taking my thyroid medicine first thing in the morning and not eating anything for 4 hours because my thyroid medicine wasn't working correctly. And my labs were off and I still had symptoms, even though I was doing everything right. So meanwhile, my youngest son, who has type 1 diabetes and celiac disease, had very, very severe behavior problems. He had an extreme case of ADHD and an extreme case of ODD. I forget what it stands for. I'm not going to try to remember. ODD. Terrible. Very, very terrible. And I was doing everything right for him, watching his diet, making sure he got plenty of sleep, making sure he didn't eat the wrong thing. And we had him off of gluten, and I was so crazy, ridiculous, trying to keep his blood sugar steady and getting his A1C down. His doctor said he wanted his A1C to be 7.5 or lower. And for people who know what that means, it's different with type 1 diabetics and with kids, because he's 10 and that's still his goal. And I would get it between 7.8 and 7.6. And in my mind, they're like, oh, that's great, that's great. I'm like, no, if you said 7.5 and lower, then by golly, I'm going to get it 7.5 or lower. No matter what I did, he just seemed to be on this blood sugar roller coaster. And the only time he was in range was when he was going from too high to too low or too low to too high. And I was extremely frustrated. I just felt like I was doing everything right. And I had learned so much about health and nutrition. I was doing all the right things, and it was not working. I mean, yes, it was working because obviously if I wasn't doing what I was doing, we would both be way worse off. But I felt like I should be thriving with everything that I'm doing. I was working so hard, and I was barely keeping my head above water. I was treading water like crazy and just barely keeping my nose above water. And I was just really struggling, especially with his behavior. That was the main thing. I mean, he had stomach pains where he would be, oh, my stomach, and just be in pain and agony. He had that when he first developed celiac disease. I took gluten out of his diet completely, which is easy for me to do because we've been gluten-free with food allergies for many years. And he still had the stomach pain, even though he wasn't getting any gluten. And I was making everything homemade, and I knew he wasn't getting gluten, and he was doubled over every single day in pain and with his stomach. And so I was extremely frustrated with our health. So I started praying like crazy. I'm like, there has to be something out there that'll help. There has to be supplements that will kill two birds with one stone. We had a laundry list worth of symptoms, both of us. And my other family members did too, but we were chronically ill, both my son and I. So that's why I was just like so desperate with them, with us, with our health. So I just started praying and researching and reading and praying. I read 4 books on brain health, and that's when I realized the gut-brain connection. My memory was so severe that we thought I had Alzheimer's disease, and I got tested for it. They were like, no, you don't have Alzheimer's disease, but I think you're having seizures. There's not the grand mal, but the ones that you can't tell. But my memory was still getting worse. No matter what treatment I did, my memory was just slowly getting worse and getting worse. And it was horrific. And then with his behavior problems, I'm like, it's a gut health thing. That's why, because again, the gut-brain connection, I read books about it. I'm like, yes, it's a thing. There has to be something that will kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And then I started realizing that gut health probably paid a price in half of my symptoms, like paid a part in half of my symptoms. So I just started praying and researching and praying, and I found nothing. Nothing was helping, but deep down I felt like I was onto something, and that I was going to find something. And then randomly and unexpectedly, I discovered Plexus, and I totally thought it was a travel agency that you did on your phone as a home business, like one of those network marketing travel agencies, which I'm not even sure if that's a thing, but that's what I thought Plexus was. So I started looking into it. I'm like, not that I was interested at all, but I just thought it was weird, a weird concept, and I was just curious on how it worked. So I started looking into it. This was a time when I was bedridden. I was so sick, I couldn't get out of bed. I slept for 3 days straight because I was so sick from an antibiotic I was taking. I had an allergic reaction to it, and I overreacted to it, and I took Benadryl because I'm like, I am not going back to the hospital again and getting prednisone. I had already done that, and prednisone is what set this whole thing in motion. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to deal with this. So I took Benadryl, and I overreacted to Benadryl. Benadryl and I are not friends. Now I have to take Claritin, but I was really, really sick, and I could not recover when this happened. So I discovered plexus, and I started looking into it, and I realized what it is. It says gut health. It's all about gut health. And I'm like, oh, God just answered my prayer. I started crying. I'm like, he just answered my prayer. But I tried to order from them, and you have to know somebody. And I'm like, well, I don't know anybody. I've never heard of plexus before. So I asked God, I'm like, what should I do? And immediately I thought of a friend who had posted about gut health a couple times. She never said anything about plexus, so it was a shot in the dark. But I just asked her, I'm like, you don't by any chance take plexus, do you? And it was late at night, and she homeschools and has twin little girls. I'm like, I wasn't even expecting her. She's never on Facebook very often, so I wasn't expecting her. But immediately she answers, she goes, yes, I do. You want to try it? And I'm like, heck yeah. So I jumped in with both feet. I just dove in. I'm like, if God is going to answer my prayer, I am going to do this right. I'm not going to just go be like, oh, I don't want to spend the money and blah, 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 blah. But the funny thing is I was already spending the money. I just switched from what I was doing to plexus, which ended up being less and cheaper. So I was saving money. So I started seeing results. I was already on the Whole30 diet. I was already exercising as much as I can and drinking plenty of water. So I kind of had a jump start. I was already taking mass amounts of probiotics. I just switched to what I was doing, and I started healing. I have not had another bladder infection. It's been 2 years. After 6 years of chronic bladder infection, didn't matter what I did, just got bladder infection. 2 years, almost 3 years, no bladder infection. My kidney is better. My kidney doctor said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because your kidneys look amazing. I've not had any kidney problems. My thyroid medicine is working, so I don't have the thyroid symptoms. My hunger and craving has gone away, and all my candida symptoms have gone away. I am healed. I have overcome a lot, and my son's behavior problems are no more. We no longer have a problem with that. It just slowly got better, just a little bit at a time, until it got to the point where it was just no more. It used to be where, oh, he's better, and then, oh, we'd flare up like a couple times a month, and then it was a couple times a year, and now it's like nothing at all. He is doing better. His stomach pain from the celiac disease is gone. He's still gluten-free, but the pain is gone. His A1C, his next appointment after he started plexus was 7.0. I could not get it below 7.6, and then it just went to 7. His blood sugar is steady. He's no longer doing this anymore. It's really helped that. And let me be clear, he's still on insulin. Sometimes when I share my story, people think he doesn't have diabetes anymore. He still has celiac disease, he still has diabetes, but it is more manageable, and he is symptom-free, even though he's not on gluten, and he's still taking insulin, but it's so much better. The quality of our life is so much better. So gut health is the main thing. Gut health is the single reason why my son and I had 100 symptoms and why our life was so terrible. And even though we were taking mass amounts of probiotics, because I knew the importance of gut health, we've always taken probiotics. It wasn't enough because it wasn't the right probiotics. And I am very passionate about that because I've tried a lot of probiotics and I've done a lot of supplements and a lot of things. And this is hands down the best I've ever found. And so I'm extremely passionate about that. This heals from the inside out. Your gut plays a huge role in your overall health, more than we even realize. There are hundreds of symptoms that come from an imbalance in the gut. So we have good and bad bacteria, and they are supposed to balance each other out. They both have a purpose, and they both have a reason to be there, but they need to be balanced. If the bad bacteria starts getting out of balance, then it overwhelms the good bacteria, and it can't get a handle on it. That's when problems happen. And there's a lot of things that can cause that. Antibiotics and steroids are the big culprits. Birth control pills are a big culprit with that too. Antacids do that too, and so does NSAIDs, ibuprofen. Those things wreak havoc on our gut. Too much alcohol, too much sugar, stress in our lives, even things that we have no control over can cause an imbalance in the gut. And it's important to have something that's going to keep that balance. So when there's an attack on our gut, our body can continue to function the way it's supposed to. So our mood, our mental clarity, how our body handles stress, anxiety and depression, and hunger and cravings, weight gain and even weight loss, people who are underweight and can't gain weight, or people who are overweight and can't lose weight, that is a gut health problem. Autoimmune diseases are caused by an imbalance in the gut. Overeating, skin problems, allergies, the list goes on. There is so much value in having a balanced gut. And in our day and age, the quality of our foods, our environment, and just what's going on in our world today, even the stress and everything that hits us in our lives, that affects our gut health. So we need to have something that's going to do a good job in balancing the gut. So I do have some tips because I share my story. People get excited. They try the products and they say it didn't work for me. Or I'll talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, I tried it once and it didn't work for me. Okay, what I want to say is I didn't just try the products. I feel like I dove in and I swam laps and I'm still swimming laps. And I feel like people stick their toe in and say, it didn't work for me. And it's like, no, you don't just stick your toe in. You dive in head first and you swim laps. But that sounds hard. Yes, it is hard. It is hard work, but it's not as hard as when you do nothing. Because when you do nothing, you're battling with health problems and you have all these symptoms. You have no energy. You don't have mental clarity. You feel sluggish. You're overeating. You're out of balance. And if your gut's out of balance, your mind is out of balance, your whole body is out of balance, and it affects your life. So you can do it. It is hard, but no matter what you choose. If you choose to do nothing, it's hard. And if you choose to do this, it's hard, but it's a good hard. And you start overcoming obstacles, and then you're victorious, and you feel amazing, and it's so worth it. It is so worth it. So we're going to be treating our symptoms no matter what. If you treat it the unhealthy way, you're just going to get worse and you end up spending more money. If you treat it the natural way and the good way with these wonderful products that work, then yes, you will be so much happier. It is so worth it. I'm not allowed to guarantee it, but I guarantee it. I promise. I'm not allowed to promise, but I promise. It just takes it takes a good mindset. It takes me a good mindset, and I feel like I have a good mindset, but it takes a good mindset. That's the number one thing is we talk ourselves out of doing what's right. We talk ourselves out of doing what's good. And when things are hard and we try to make a change, our body starts trying to talk ourselves out of it. You need to know what the truth is. You need to educate yourselves to bring up. Education gets rid of fear, gets rid of the negativity, gets rid of doubts, gets rid of all the things that we are trying to talk ourselves out of. So it's important to have somebody do this with you. Learn as much as you can on how to push forward. Do a little bit every day. Don't try to jump in and be overwhelmed so you quit. Start small, make small changes, and try to develop good habits. Learn about the habits that you need to do. Develop a good health plan. What I did was I took advantage of every tool that these products have to offer. I maxed out the products. If it says take 1 or 2, I took 2. If it says take 2 to 4, I took 4. In fact, with the probiotics, because I was on so much and I have such a gut health problem with all the steroids and all the antibiotics, I was taking 6 probiotics. I would stay on it continually, but I run out easier because our whole family takes it. So I will do it in spurts, or else I'll save amount. If I'm working on a specific goal, I will save an amount so I can do like 30 minutes straight, or 30 days straight with the products, with doubling up on the products, especially the triplex. So the triplex is one that I want to highlight. That's the one I thrive on. That's the one that's most popular, and that's what people take. It consists of the Plexus Slim. There's 2 different kinds of Plexus Slim that you can go for. You can't go wrong with them. Some people like one over the other, and some people prefer one or the other. Some people like the taste of one over the other. Some people like them both. Some people take them all. I take them both. Hunger Control Slim is for extra tough hunger and craving, for people who want to get super aggressive with losing weight. And a lot of people with autoimmune diseases prefer the hunger control. The Microbiome Activating Slim is the one that has a prebiotic in it that helps with gut health. Okay, it's like Miracle Gura for the gut, and it works really fabulously with the probiotic, Probio 5, which also comes in the triplex combo. So the Probio 5 is hands down the best probiotic ever. And it has digestive enzymes in there. It has antifungals in there. It has amazing probiotics and flora in there. It works well. It's freeze-dried, so it doesn't get activated until it actually hits the gut. And it is just amazing and hands down amazing. I was taking 24 probiotics a day before Plexus, and now I take between 4 and 6 a day. And then the BioCleanse is oxygenated magnesium and vitamin C, and it helps your body flush out the toxins and work the way God designed it to work. It is not a cleanse. It is not one of those scary things, which I've never done except for colonoscopy I had. But yeah, this just helps your body function the way God designed it, because we are designed to detoxify. We are actually designed to eliminate 1 to 3 times a day, and most people don't. But these products all work together. The triplex work together to balance the blood sugar, because that gets out of whack. The blood sugar and the hormones and all that, even the blood pressure gets all out of whack when there's an imbalance in the gut. So all of our products has something to do with gut health. And they work with doctors and scientists to make sure they work well, and that they're pure, and that they're high quality, and that they're safe, and that they're clean. And I am just super, super impressed with these products. Another thing I wanted to say was the X Factor Plus is an amazing vitamin. It has aloe, it has blackcurrant extract, it's got bioavailable supplements, or vitamins and minerals, which help your body absorb them the best absorbable form, which is all natural. And it's also methylated. The folate and the B vitamins are methylated, which allows our body to absorb it really, really well. And this has completely eliminated all the extra zinc, magnesium, and all the other stuff that I was taking, and prescription vitamin D, no more. I'm only taking the triplex and the X Factor Plus. Those are my staple. That's what I take every time. There's other products that I will add into it, but the X Factor Plus and the triplex, hands down, is what we all take very faithfully every single day. We have some extra weight loss products that you can add to your regimen that will actually push you forward in your weight loss. The MetaBurn helps with weight loss, and it also helps with moods, mental clarity, energy. The lean shakes are a good one because it's high quality protein, and it has nutrients in it and stuff for gut health, like probiotics and prebiotics in it for gut health. And it helps you feel full longer, and it has all the nutrients that you need, and it's clean. It's very clean, and it's very good for a meal replacement or for a snack or after workout snack, or even you can turn it into a healthy dessert or a treat for the kids. Our family loves the lean shakes, and we have the vegan and the whey, and outstanding, very, very, very outstanding. Okay, so how do I afford the products? So many people ask me that because they know that we're just like everybody else. So how do you afford these products? And I do have some tips and tricks for that on how we afford it. Number one, our vitamins and supplements have always been incorporated into our grocery budget, always. And that's the same here. It helps us because my son isn't on as much insulin, so we're saving money there. I'm not on all the medication, and I'm not going to the emergency room every other month anymore. I'm not having surgeries or being hospitalized. So that, I was going to the doctor every other month or even every month. And that's no more. That was expensive. And that has saved us a lot. I was buying massive amounts of vitamins and supplements, and I am saving on that too because I don't have to buy as much with Plexus, so I'm saving money there. But I also just incorporate it in my grocery bill. If we have to cut something out, it's not going to be our vitamins or supplements because it's just as important to us as groceries. We need to eat. We need our supplements because our supplements fill in the gap and they give us what our foods don't, what our food can't give us, because there's no way we can eat all of that stuff. So we have to supplement our food. And so that's just as important as supplements. And with our symptoms, we cannot go without. So I have to make it work for us. And I also take advantage of every single tool that they offer to save money. I take advantage of their free shipping, of getting their free products free. I use the Joyome, which is amazing microbiome for the skin. It's a serum. It is amazing. And I'm not really, I'm actually allergic to most moisturizers, but I'm not really a snob. I just use what I use and I keep it simple because I don't have a lot of extra money to spend hundreds of dollars on my skincare. So I just keep it really simple. And I can only use one thing because I'm allergic to everything. So I'm not really a snob. So for me to be like, oh, I love something, when it comes to skincare, that's just not me. But the Joyome is amazing. It is a serum, microbiome, to balance the microbes in the skin. And my face has just, at first I was like, oh, I don't care about skincare. But then I saw everybody doing their videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want some. Their face looks amazing. It was just beautiful. And I could see a difference with all my friends who were doing videos. I'm like, okay, so Joyome isn't really something that I would buy normally, but I get it for free because of the Plexus perks. And I do buy it. I buy it for my girls as gifts because they love it and my girls love it. And I buy it for myself too because I love it. But it's not really a priority for me. But I get it for free because of Plexus perks. I take advantage. If there's free shipping, if there's free products, I do what I need to do to get that because it's valuable to me and it's worth it. So you can also make money by referring friends. You do not have to do this as a business. There's a lot of people, in fact, most people don't do this as a business. There's just a very small percentage that do. But the people who can make money, can make cash back by referring friends. These products work, they're helping people. So it's very easy for people to share with others and they order from their website. They get cash back every month and it helps them. I've been getting cash back every month since the day I started. And I wasn't even planning on really doing this as a business at first. It kind of happened organically, but I did share and I had people respond and I've been getting paid every single month since. And you can do it too, even if you don't want to do this as a business. Right now, everything's on sale. So if you want to start now, this is the best time to start. Membership pays for itself in the first order, your membership fee, and it lasts for a whole year. And you get all the products at wholesale price. You can get free products, free shipping. You can get cash back on referrals. You can, I mean, it's just, there's so much. There's so many benefits to being a member. And the membership pays for itself in its first order, so it's worth it. And you save quite a bit of money, and you can get all these extra perks. There's no obligation or anything, so it's not like you're stuck buying every month. And there's different benefits to having auto ship, but you don't have to do that. It's completely optional. But it helps you to stay consistent, and there's also extra perks if you do that. And so I do take advantage of that. There's 10% off the welcome pack. The welcome packs are a bundle of the products. You can get a triplex welcome pack, and there's a lot of welcome packs that include the triplex and other products. You end up with free products because it's so deeply discounted. It's way below wholesale price. Right now, there's 10% off the welcome packs. So with the $10 membership and the 10% off the welcome packs, plus I'm giving $15 cash back. So you are going to be saving a lot of money. And if you share with 3 people, you will get over $300 cash back because they are giving extra bonuses. If you share with 6 people, it has to be in groups of 3, 6, 9. They give you 250 extra, which equals, you can get between $300 and $700 by referring 3 to 6 people, which is so easy to do. And the easiest way to do that is just let your friends know, hey, I'm trying something new. You want to do this with me? Let's do this together, because it works best when you do this with someone, because no one wants to do a new thing alone. So you can even put a fun post out, a picture of yourself drinking a pink drink, or just a picture of you and your family, and just say, I'm trying this new health regimen. Who wants to do this with me? And I am going to help out. So this is a great month to take advantage of this. So I covered a lot. And so if you have any questions, please, please let me know, and I'd be happy to help you. So thank you so much for listening, and thanks for popping on. And I hope this was helpful and encouraging and a blessing. So I have a lot of faith in you. I never want people to quit on their health. I always encourage people to go. A lot of times people will go and they'll start out and then they'll quit and they'll say, nope, no, this isn't for me. Don't do that. Your health is super important. Your health is the most important thing in your life, because you can't have relationships. You can't do what you need to do. You can't be there for your family if you're constantly battling symptoms. I know that for a fact because I've been there. So do not quit on your health. You start slow. You take one step at a time, one thing at a time, and instead of quitting, you just push a little bit farther. Don't do too much to frustrate you and to overwhelm you. Do one thing at a time. When you start these products, you're going to start slow. You're going to start one step at a time. Start really slow. You're going to drink plenty of water. You're going to slowly work your way to the max amount of the triplex. You are going to develop better habits in your eating. You're going to start having more energy so that you can exercise more. You are going to start feeling better, but it takes time. It takes consistency. It even takes persistence, but it's so important to be persistent with your health. That is the most important thing. So do not quit. Instead of quitting, take one step further. Up your game a little bit. Bump it up a notch. Do it a little bit better. Have a list of healthy habits you want to develop and then slowly work on that. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. It is so important for us not to quit. And if money is a problem, let me know, because I can help you. I can help you with that. I have a team of amazing people who are just blazing a trail and doing amazing things. And so can you. You can do this. And I have a lot of hope and belief in you. So just start one day at a time. Thank you and have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.